I know it likes to get a little glitchy in the morning. I think we're good. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you, thank you, thank you. This is Matthew. This is MattTv for Wednesday, October 30th, 2019. I'm really looking forward to this show. The lady that I'm going to have on the show here in a couple of moments, Cathy Cusack Pierce. I think she was on the show back in 2017. So it's been a while, so we're going to catch up. But first, the weather out here on the South Coast has been beautiful for the last few days, and the weather looks nice right through till Sunday. But if you get the opportunity to just go outside either before you go to bed or when you wake up in the morning and just look up at the stars, it's magnificent, beautiful. No moon in the sky. The moon doesn't come up for a little bit, but just the dark skies and the stars. I love it. Lori Crowley, welcome to the broadcast. Okay, so I'm going to be speaking with the owner-operator of Four Corners and Oromocto, psychic medium, Cathy Cusack Pierce, in a couple of moments. But just a few things I want to bring to your attention while I wait for Cathy to join the broadcast. Hope the weather is nice in Prince Edward Island. Sunshine here, 9 degrees. Like I said, the weather is beautiful. No rain in the forecast until Sunday. The weather currently in Oromocto, and if you're in that area, you can correct me. This is from the AccuWeather website. Clouds and 15 degrees. Looks like rain. Unfortunately, it looks like rain in the forecast for Oromocto. What is the forecast for the trick-or-treaters tomorrow night? Feel free to leave a comment if you so choose. Sunrise 7:50 here this morning on the west coast. Low tide at 1:44, and the moon will come up in less than 30 minutes. So looking forward to that. I love the moon. A couple of things while we wait for Cathy Cusack Pierce, owner-operator and psychic medium in Oromocto, to join the broadcast. It was on this date back in 1938 that the radio version of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds is broadcast, and panic ensues. Panic ensues. October 30th, 1938. I love the movie. Maybe if you're not a fan of Tom Cruise is in this movie. Dakota Fanning, Tom Cruise. Maybe you're not a fan of Mr. Cruise, so you wouldn't go see the movie. I personally, I don't know, it'd just be very scary. They all handled it very well. Is that something that you do this time of year, Halloween? Maybe, I know you can probably find this on YouTube. H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. Get the original. Orson Welles doing the narrating. And just, it freaked people out. Even though there were warnings during the broadcast that this was fictional, it was just so real. It was so real. So that's what happened on this date, 1938. Not too many years ago, 1995, October 30th, Quebec rejects separation in a referendum. That goes down to the wire. Down to the wire. And those are just a couple of things on this date in history. Again, this is Matthew. This is MattTv, Facebook Live. Facebook created Facebook Live, a platform for people to come on, turn their phone on, or whatever device they're using, and just help people out. You know, that's the right way of putting it. Facebook created Facebook Live. I created MattTv. We've kind of mashed them together. And this is what I do here on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 6:30 in the morning. There will be a different time change. I don't think I'm going to do a show on Friday because I'm going to be speaking with Rowan Moon tomorrow morning at 6:30. So we'll just do the Friday show on a Thursday, and then a week from today on Wednesday, I'll be speaking with my good friend and your good friend, George Woodworth. Sedona, welcome to the broadcast. And I'm thinking that there is probably going to be some of Cathy's friends who have never watched MattTv before. MattTv this is me, this is Matthew, my last name is Grant. Here in White Rock, British Columbia, I've been doing MattTv on my phone here in the garage for like 2.5 years. So, welcome to the broadcast, and just simply from soup to nuts, which is an expression I heard on a TV show earlier this week. From soup to nuts, this is it. Just observations, conversations, making current events relatable to you. Yeah. That's what it is. And there's no editing. It's all live. I just put this stuff, I finish it, and it goes up on my Facebook page, and then I throw it up on YouTube. I was watching this last night on YouTube, Jen and Kaya Moon watching something on TV, so I decided to watch Game 6 of the World Series last night here in the garage with the Wi-Fi and the YouTube channel. So I just went to YouTube and punched in Game 6 live stream, and I was watching the ball game on YouTube last night. And what a game it was. What a game. Controversy. The manager for the Washington Nationals was thrown out of the game, even though what happened in the 7th inning worked out in their favor. But the Washington Nationals winning Game 6 last night forces a Game 7, obviously, which is tonight in Houston. We will decide, or not we. The players are going to decide who's going to be this year's World Series champion. Leslie, I'm glad you're in here. I hope I didn't offend you the other day when I was going on about Tupperware. Tupperware is my friend. It's just not my best friend. So I'm sorry if I offended you. I didn't mean to. I don't think I did. What else did I want to say? Oh, so last night, Game 6, Washington won the game in Houston. And it was a historic moment, and I'll tell you why. Out of all the different major sports, Major League Baseball, the NBA, and the NHL, in the playoffs, they all have a 7-game series. And they have combined all those sports and looked at the numbers. Out of all those sports and all the series that went 7 games, last night's win by the road team was the first time in history through all the sports where the road team has won the first 6 games. So, maybe a little, sorry. So they have a chance to make history tonight if Washington can come back and win Game 7 tonight. It's going to be an amazing Game 7. I just feel bad for Justin Verlander. Last night was his 6th start in a World Series. He's 0 for 6. He's 0 for 6. Better than I could do. Don't get me wrong. Better than I could do. Okay. Oh, and the umpiring, I'll just put this out there. Everyone is a weekend armchair referee. I'm not a big fan of, or umpires, depending on what sports. It's a chair umpire if you're watching tennis. I don't know. Does anyone have a dislike for tennis chair umpires? If you do, seek help. Please seek help. But that being said, I'm going to give the umpiring crew of the 2019 World Series, I'm going to give them a 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. Okay. That's all I wanted to talk about. I want to get to the main part of the show. And I want to keep this chat with Cathy. I'm aiming for the 10-minute mark because I got to go to work. Okay, let's just see. And again, pardon my fingers. Okay, I'm not seeing. Boop. And I thought maybe this might be an issue. I've always done my show on my iPhone. I turn it sideways and I've never had any problems. I can't say the same thing for those that are potential guests on the show. Because I don't think watching this broadcast on a tablet allows you the option to join the broadcast. Because right now, it's telling me that the only person I can add to the broadcast is, okay, now Cathy's here, is Leslie. And Leslie might want to come on and do a split screen to tear me a new one about the Tupperware. Okay, Cathy's in the broadcast. Let's see if we can bring Cathy in here. Okay, bingo, bang. Of course it's going to work. Okay, here we go. Next person you see will be Cathy Cusack Pierce. It's telling me it's adding. We're all good today. Excellent. So it's telling me that it's adding. Just waiting for the connection. A secure connection. It's technology. It's out of my hands. Yeah.
Hi, Matt.
Morning, Cathy.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
What's the weather like in Oromocto? I just said it was cloudy there and rainy. You getting rain there?
I don't know if you guys can see out, but I live on the lake. It's beautiful.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what the weather is like. It's quite nice where you are.
Oh, it's the East Coast. It's always nice. Cold weather's setting in, though.
The cold weather is setting in?
It is.
Do you have any idea what the long range forecast is like for the Maritimes? Like, is it going to be mild or is it going to be another brutal winter like last year?
Well, I've heard a couple of different things. Of course, it's the old men that sit around the corner store and talk about what they expect to see. But I heard that we're going to have a nice long fall and a late start to the winter. So, I mean, as you can see, it's gorgeous. It's almost November. The leaves really have just kind of taken a turn to fall on the ground now. So, to me, that's good. A couple of years ago, we had snow for Halloween. So, fingers crossed.
Well, it's already better than last year.
Exactly.
Okay, Cathy, so for those that have never seen this broadcast, I was just saying before you joined the show that Facebook created Facebook Live, I created MattTv, we've mashed them together, and I've been having people on the show either by phone or split screen for a few years, and really it's just me allowing someone else the opportunity to share some airtime and just let people know what's going on in their life, yes? So what I've done and what I've done for all the people that I've interviewed, I just went through your Facebook page and I just pulled information off of that. So everything we talk about is something that you've already posted on your own Facebook, okay?
Certainly.
So what I want to do first is let people get to know you, and then we'll talk about you as the psychic medium.
Certainly.
Okay, so you are the owner operator of Four Corners in Oromocto, and your side gig is being a occupational health and safety specialist for the federal government. That's something you do on the side?
Yes, I'm actually not with the federal government right now, but I am a health and safety officer by trade. Yes.
So how do you balance having that trade and being a psychic medium? Do they ever blend into each other?
Oh, well, I mean, everything that we do is intuitive, right? So, if you hear in your head, I think I need to be up and around the corner, there's something going on, then, of course you follow that instinct. So I believe that in any job, our instincts and our intuition go hand in hand with that. So definitely.
That being said, does everyone have the potential to be a psychic medium in a way?
Yeah, every single person is psychic. So when you think about it, there's your gut instinct, which is called clairsentience. We all have that. If we meet someone and maybe they don't click, or we click really well with them, or it's just I'm kind of have a feeling about this. We also have clairvoyance, which is the gift of seeing. We see things outwards. We also see things inwards, like visions and dreams. We have clairaudience, where we hear. Sometimes I can hear Cathy come right beside my ear. Lots of times it comes up as thought, so that's hearing as well. Then we have our clear smell and our clear taste and our clear knowing, right? Just kind of knowing with beyond reason why we know these things. So I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we're all psychic. Right? The psychic then leads into that mediumship. I run across people all the time. They're like, Cathy, I know my grandmother's talking to me. So I personally feel that we all have the potential to have the gift of mediumship as well.
How long when did you first discover that you had this gift? Well, like you just said, everyone has the gift, but when did you realize that it was a little bit more for you?
Yeah. Well, my great-grandmother, Selina, was a well-known psychic in the Fredericton area back in the 50s and 60s, and she was born with the call on Samhain Eve, actually. So she had that extra skin, which is the sixth sight. So it seems like it's kind of right in our family, and my entire life, some weird things have happened, and, maybe see some stuff, but it wasn't until my later teens when I would have a vision, and, 2 hours later, the same thing would happen. Then it wasn't until my 30s when I went through a lot of personal stuff that I kind of closed up. And as I went through my own spiritual healing, all of a sudden, everything just kind of blew up. So it's really been probably the last 8 years that I've really accepted it and focused into it.
Awesome. I wish I was in Oromocto right now, sitting beside you, enjoying a coffee, because I know we would just talk all day. I love it.
Oh, really?
You went to London. Is this correct? Now, again, this is just stuff I pulled off your Facebook. In the springtime, you went to London. What was that all about?
So I've actually been there 3 different times. I go to what is called the Arthur Findlay College, and it is part of the Spiritualist National Union. So what they are, it's actually, spiritualism is a faith. It's a religion, but it's all based on mediumship. So if you go to the church, you're not listening to a pastor or a preacher talking. You're actually listening to mediums give forth messages. So that's what I base all my teachings on, and that's, I was called there, like I said, 3 years ago. I studied with some of the best mediums in the world. world. It's incredible. There's people from China and Australia that go there. And it's very much a place of connecting and really going deep and learning your craft. So it's almost like if you want to picture Hogwarts, it's a 200-year-old castle in Stansted, England, and you stay there for a week. It's kind of like summer camp.
You would, because that's awesome. I didn't know if it was for business or pleasure, but that just sounds like it was kind of both.
Exactly.
Kind of both. And that's what I was going to ask you. One of the questions I had towards the end, but I'll just jump into it right now. Just, is there anything more you can add to that on? There's always like continuing education. You can always be a better psychic medium. Yes.
Yes, I agree. People will actually ask me, if you know what you're doing, why do you spend money to go to this school? Because you always have that opportunity. You could be right up at the top of your game, but there's more stuff that the spirit world wants to show you, and they'll use these teachers, they'll use these tutors to give in that sacred space that they hold for you while you're learning. Perhaps there's a new technique, and you're always being shown something new. And to me, education in any kind, whether it's first aid or mediumship or university, it's all so important, because there's a lot of theory and science actually based behind spiritualism. It's been measured.
Okay, that's awesome stuff. My wife uses the term downloading a lot. Do you like these people that you're learning from? They're downloading information, and you're downloading it from them.
Yeah, well, really, we're always downloading. Matt, we're doing it right now, right? We're receiving all these messages. And 2019, I'm telling you, a lot of you guys, if you've experienced that, we've gone through a lot of crazy energy the last couple of months. People have been really, really down, and there's a lot of stuff kind of clearing out. So we're not, I just want to say we're getting ready for an extreme high year of 2020. So if you're being downloaded, that pinging in the ears, the feeling and the sense of there's something I've got to do. There's something I've got to do. That's all downloads. We're getting ready for 2020 because it's going to be an incredibly strong spiritual year.
I look forward to it. That's so awesome. That just takes me right into what are some of the highs and lows personally for being a psychic medium?
Well, the very first one, and I would call it a high and a low at the same time. A lot of your viewers will probably understand the term being an empath, right? So we feel so much. We're big feelers, and we take on so much from other people. I've really had to learn to have my personal boundaries. So, if I have a group reading of 50 people, I'm not taking all of their emotions home. I'll cry right along with my clients, and it almost feels like you become friends with them. But then you have to understand those boundaries, and you can't fix people, right? That's what we want to do as empaths, especially for females, because we have such a mothering, nurturing piece of us. Not that men don't, but I'm speaking from a female's perspective, that we want to fix people. So as a psychic medium, I have to understand I hold sacred space for people. I don't fix people. Right. So then on my downtime, I need time with my family. I need quiet time. I sit on my couch and watch Netflix, right? Just to really and have something mindless, right? Because my head gets full. So yeah, and just spending some time to yourself.
Because there have been times where you have just, I don't know how recently, but you have made posts on Facebook before just saying, I'm taking a break.
Yes,
I have. Just pulling away. Is it pulling away from social media altogether and just going back to when it was like the early 90s?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm living a human life, right? I took care of somebody for 17 years that had severe post-traumatic from the military. So, that kind of stuff, that human stuff that I don't want to say gets in our way because it's part of our path, but there are times that I've had to say, okay, you know what, I do need to take a step back. It's too much. And even if it's only for 2 weeks or a week, I have stepped back and I've had some alone time to myself. So I'm not afraid to step back when I need to. Because if I don't listen, Spirit's going to kick me right in the butt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
2019, we're at the tail end of it, going into what you say is going to be a huge spiritual year. What, in your mind, are still some of the big misconceptions of being of psychic mediums, or just that way of thinking, that spiritualism? What are some of the misconceptions that you think of?
Yeah. For me, one of the big things, and it's kind of the part of what I've been trying to bring to my own personal space of Four Corners, is that I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not a fortune teller at all, right? My readings are, yes, we're connecting to past loved ones. Yes, we're looking past, present, future, but there's a whole sense of spirituality that comes with the readings. And I know that for other readers in the area, that is coming as well. So it's not just, pulling cards and saying, you're going to win at bingo, right? So things are changing with people's readings. And yes, I am a witch. And I'm very, very proud of that. So people are still afraid of that. They're afraid that I'm going to tell them something scary or something sad. Well, we all have stuff, but I don't sit in the negative of things. So some people are still very fearful, but and people don't understand the difference between psychic and mediumship. There's the show on TV about the psychic cab, and it's fun to watch it, but he's not doing psychic work. He's doing mediumship because he's connecting the living to the dead. Right. So there's these things that, we're just trying to bring forth and educate people in.
Well, speaking of educating people, let's talk about some of the services that you offer at your Four Corners. And just let me find it here. So you offer psychic, medium readings, group readings. I find this interesting. People can make appointments to come in and talk about past life regression. And you also have psychic development training. So if you just want to touch on any of those, give yourself a little plug. You're more than welcome to do that.
Sure. So I do a lot of training because the psychic self, that's where we heal. So to me, it's not just knowing some stuff, it's actually sitting within. So I facilitate for people to learn how to do that in a fun, safe environment. So that's a big thing. Past life regression, I'm not a hypnotherapist, but I do it through a very deep guided meditation. And we've had some miraculous outcomes. It's so interesting. So you are the one that's doing the work, but I'm facilitating it for you. I do a lot of private in-home group readings. Plus, I'm getting more into the public speaking part, which I really, really love. And that's what a lot of 2020 is going to be about. But my biggest thing that I love the most is sitting across one-to-one and, having a heartfelt conversation with someone. Yeah.
I love it so much. I'm so glad that you're on the show this morning. Okay, so those are some of the services, and you're successful. It's a full-time thing for you. Let's talk about a couple of things that are coming up. You do have a group reading coming up on Friday, November 8th at 7 o'clock.
That's right. That's in Moncton, actually. Spirit has been pulling me to other communities, so I'm not just in the Fredericton area. So I'm doing one at Physio in Motion in Riverview on that Friday night. And then the next day I'm offering classes for anyone that's interested.
Have you ever thought about getting a schoolie, like converting like an old bus or something and just traveling around to different communities?
I've been told stuff like that before,
Yeah.
but I'm actually building a website right now. I'm right in the middle of it. I have a PR gal that's doing all that for me, so that my teachings actually are going to be on that website, so people can log in anytime and participate that way. It doesn't matter where they're at in the world.
Cool. Excellent. Sedona retreat in January. You going to be a part of that?
Oh, I'm hoping. That's actually run by my friend Jade, and she's from the Calgary area. She's part of the Spiritualist Church of Canada out there. I met her over in England, and she takes students over to Sedona. And Sedona is very much a huge retreat and spending time inside yourself. So hoping.
Okay, excellent. Okay, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me. I want to end this really quickly, kind of like a speed round. All this information was pulled off of your about information. So I just want to clarify some things. Oh, and congratulations on your puppy, Creed.
Oh, Creed. Yes, thank you. He's coming home in 2 weeks.
I can't wait to see the videos on that, because you have yourself put up some Facebook Live videos.
Yes, I have.
Can you just give us an insight of what you were talking about in those, like readings or?
Yeah, so some of them actually I did over at the Arthur Findlay College, where I would take people around the grounds a little bit and just inspirational messages. I do Facebook Live about once every 3 months, where I actually offer free psychic readings. It's very much a speed round thing, like what you had said with my oracle cards. Actually, I'm doing one tonight. It's 8:30 Eastern time. Anyone can log into it. It's on the Four Corners Facebook page. Yeah, and sometimes whenever I feel inspired by Spirit, I'll just make a little video.
Sweet. Okay, speed round. Excuse me. I've had a frog in my throat the last couple mornings. But it's live. What are you going to do, Cathy? It's live.
Gotta
Okay, here we go. So these can just be yes or no. Laundry, do you still dislike it?
No.
You like doing laundry now?
You like doing laundry now?
Okay, okay. Pepsi, is it still an essential part of your day?
It is.
It is? Okay. Still, you can't play any instruments?
No, no, absolutely, just the radio.
Just the radio, okay. Cabbage and peas, not a big fan.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
And if you were to go to the zoo right now, the first place you'd go would be go to see the monkeys.
Oh yeah, the monkeys are the most fun. Never know what they're going to throw at you.
Have to go there with a hazmat suit on.
That's right.
Cathy Cusack Pierce, psychic medium and Oromocto, owner of Four Corners. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate that.
So much for having me, Matt. And happy Samhain to everyone.
And maybe if you want to be watching tomorrow, I'll be chatting with Rowan Moon tomorrow morning on All Hallows Eve. That's going to be awesome.
Yes. Yes, she is an amazing person. I hope that your viewers tune in for her because she's so full of wisdom.
I haven't spoken with Rowan in probably a couple years, so I'm looking forward to reconnecting with an old schoolmate.
Yes, yes. They'll love her.
Have a good day, Cathy.
Thanks, you too, Matt. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, that was awesome. Cathy Cusack Pierce, psychic medium, owner of Four Corners in Oromocto, New Brunswick. Okay, Etienne, what's going on, brother? Sherry, welcome to the broadcast. Okay, that's going to do it for me. I wanted to talk for 10 minutes, and that was 17 minutes. That was over. I got to go to work. Okay, back here tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Pacific, speaking with fiber artist, shamanic practitioner, witch, writer, Rowan Moon, tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Pacific, right here on MattTv, on Facebook Live. This is Matthew. This is MattTv, now and always, from sea to sea.